It was about as pretty as your mama, but the Minnesota Fighting Vikings got it done in a win 19-17 Sunday against the Detroit Lions at US Bank Stadium. And the Vikings are the best 2-3 team in NFL history. I did it. Did it with a straight face. But a win is a win is a win, right? Like, you should be entitled to win ugly some weeks. Even the best teams have down games, and when they're able to sneak out a win, you're thankful for, right? But should we feel the same about this Vikings team that barely beat Detroit, needed a last-second field goal to actually do it, as opposed to just beating the Lions' ass by 40, right? Like, exactly the same in the win column, I suppose, right? But the whole a win is a win argument is very much akin to you are what your record says you are, that whole thing. But let's recap. So you beat a team in the Lions, the low-energy Detroit Lions, even though Dan Campbell, respect, that's a player's coach there, right, man? Like, even though he was crying at the post-game press conference, that's just emotion, man. Like, he's fully invested in this team. He's got their backs. But the team was 0-4 coming in. They're missing their two best offensive linemen, all-pro center Frank Ragnow, the pride of Chanhassen, as well as Taylor Decker. And their best pass rusher, Romeo Okwara, was out with an Achilles injury. Jeff Okudah, their best cornerback, is gone as well. So, okay. And while I was very happy for Greg Joseph, just full redemption story from his miss against Arizona, bro, if you made your 49-yarder earlier where you came up short, I mean, leg strength is not your downfall. I mean, that's for sure. But we wouldn't have been in this mess. Like, you created the problem so you could be the solution. No. And frankly, I felt much better about the game against the Cardinals than I did after the game against the Lions, even though it's backwards, because the Vikings lost against Arizona, allegedly, and then the Vikings beat the Lions. So, I don't know. Like, the game should not have been that close. The team leaves way too many points on the board, whether it's lack of aggression at the end of halves, which we've talked about with Zimmer to death, or just being way too conservative in play calling in the second half. And the defense, respect, has been pretty good for the last 2.5 games. I'll count the second half against Seattle as well. But they won't always be stout enough to allow one touchdown. So maybe they'll have some bad days like they did against the Bengals, like they did against the Cardinals, and you'll have to put some crooked numbers up there on the scoreboard. And if you're just so hell-bent to keep the score low and play conservatively, you need points. You do. And the offense can't just turn it on and off like a faucet. Be like, score points. All right, stop scoring points. All right, score more points. Like, football is not played in a vacuum, because that would suck. And momentum is a real thing. So I don't know why the Vikings just chopped the offense off at the knees when Justin Jefferson was going off in the first half against Detroit. So being so cowardly and gutless and not going for it with 37 seconds and 2 timeouts. Yes, he had 81 yards to go, but who cares? Who cares? Just go for it, man. And I don't think this offense has been solved. They've been caught up to by the rest of the league, where you haven't had Dalvin Cook basically for the last 3 games. He played very sparingly against the Browns, but they get too predictable in the second half when it comes to running the ball on first and second down. And then if you run on second and long and you don't get chunk yardage, you're setting up low percentage third and longs, and that's where the Vikings get behind, because they get stuck behind the sticks and they can't flow like they do in the first halves. And you're not fooling defenses, by the way. They know what the Zimmer offense is going to do. It's like, oh, you're probably going to run the ball on first down. If it's second and 10, you're probably going to run it. So we're going to stop the run, right? And then you just run right into the teeth of the defense. But yes, at the end of the day, a win is a win in the standings. And no, they don't do playoff seedings off a point differential. And the Lions are a feisty team, man. I do understand the appeal of Dan Campbell. I think that his players play hard for him. There just is not enough talent on that team right now. But they should have beat Frankly, they should have beat the Vikings. They certainly should have beat the Ravens, except Justin Tucker is not from this earth. And then they hung tight with the Niners and the Packers for a half. So, all right. It's all right. So, yes, the team was not as bad as what the record says there are. And the Vikings were without Dalvin and Michael Pierce on Sunday. And it is such a week-to-week league. Because looking ahead to next week, the Panthers, who started out 3-0, look like one of the hottest young teams in the league. They've lost 2 in a row now, including a bad one where Philly came from behind in their building. And the Vikings might go down to Carolina and beat the Panthers' ass, keep pounding 42-17. And we're back singing the praises of Zim. Oh, here we go. Contract extension for Zimmer? Question mark. Kirk might be back in the MVP race, and they'll score 30 again from here on out. Football can be so damn random and frustrating, but that is the fun of it, and that's why we watch the games. So I'm ready to get hurt again. Let's go, man. Frustrated after a win. Probably the most exasperated I've ever been after a Vikings win yesterday, but now I'm back on the horse. Let's go. 14-3. But your thoughts on our thoughts. Is a win really a win? I'll take it. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to put that work, pull us something in Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.